For sure, in an individual's job search period or during your job search phase of life, the truth is the number of times that you will receive rejection are going to be more than the number of times that you're going to be accepted. Then it is important that we have this conversation just to get to know, how do we cope with this rejection? Is it our mistake? Is it that there's something we are not doing correctly as job seekers? Or is it just a normal part of job search? Hi, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Nelly, and on this channel I share content on personal and career development topic to help my viewers improve the quality of their professional life and position themselves for those jobs that they desire. So in today's video, or today's conversation, is around a topic that I find, or most people find, very emotive. So this topic, the topic that I want to talk about today, is on how to deal with rejection during job search. Rejection during job search is one of the most common challenges that most job seekers face, and one of the stresses that most job seekers have to go through. For sure, in an individual's job search period or during your job search phase of life, the truth is the number of times that you will receive rejection are going to be more than the number of times that you're going to be accepted. Then it is important that we have this conversation just to get to know, how do we cope with this rejection? Is it our mistake? Is it that there's something we are not doing correctly as job seekers? Or is it just a normal part of job search? Of course, it is a normal part of job search. In this competitive job market, not everyone who applies for a job is going to get the job. And did you know that today, if an employer puts out a job ad, they probably receive over 200 applications. And remember, in these 200 applications, only one person is going to be selected. So then there has to be, there are going to be so many times when you're going to get rejected, when your application is not going to be considered. So it's important to know how to deal with this emotionally paining or emotionally draining experience that make most job seekers feel hopeless, lose hope, blame themselves, or doubt their worth, doubt the value of their degrees or the value of their education, and begin to even blame maybe the authorities or even the government at some point, and even blame the employers. So we are going to have this conversation. I'm going to take you through tips that you can hold on to, or tips that you can actually implement during your job search to ensure that you don't fall in the pit of feeling depressed because of rejection. So without taking too much time, let's get into this conversation. So number one tip that can help you deal with rejection during job search is to understand that it is not your mistake. And don't be hard on yourself. Rejection is a normal part of job search because it is a competition. It is competitive. There are many people applying for the same job. There's someone who is there's someone who is obviously going to win, and there are other people who are going to lose. So if you get yourself on that losing side, or on the failure side at that point, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you're worthless. It doesn't mean that your academics or your education does not have value. So you need to manage your emotions at that point. Think about the positive things that you have at that point, the positive things about life. Don't take it personal. It's not personal. And you need to understand that every employer has a criteria they use to select the best candidate. You might have been the most qualified in terms of your experience, in terms of your academic, but you might have missed a point or so. Maybe you're not the best fit in terms of their culture. You're not they feel you're not going to you're not going to be able to blend in their culture quickly. So maybe there's something that they were looking beyond the academic or the professional qualifications, and probably you did not meet that. So don't take it personal. Most of the time, for sure, it's not about you as the job seeker. The second tip is Even after receiving a rejection email or a rejection feedback from an employer, I know this might sound weird, but you need to send a thank you email. So what the thank you email portrays about you is that you're still interested in the organization, and probably even though you might have not been successful in this particular opening, you may still consider the organization should they have future openings where you qualify. So it paints a positive picture about your personality. It brings out the aspect of thankfulness, because even though you are not successful, a panel took their time to interview you. So by saying thank you, you're also creating a positive emotion for yourself, always being grateful. And I think that is a natural rule for life, even outside job search, being able to just see the positive thing in each and every situation and just say thank you. So by saying thank you, you're actually demonstrating professionalism, which is one thing that employers really look out for in job seekers. And you're telling them that they can consider you for future opportunities, and also helping you to maintain a positive relationship with this employer. The next tip is to ask for feedback. So just by getting a regret email might not give you an holistic feedback on which areas you did not do well. So reaching out to the recruiter or this potential employer to just ask for specific feedback on how you performed is a great way to help you improve in your next job search. So if you get this feedback, maybe it was about how you performed, maybe you were not the best fit for the role, maybe you were way beyond their budget, whatever feedback that you get, so then you're able to use this feedback to prepare for your next job search. If it's about the interviewing skills, you're not able to articulate your value, or you're not able to articulate how you'll fit in this role properly, you can always go back and prepare on your interviewing skills. It's about experience. Whatever feedback you get, the reason asking for feedback is good is that feedback, if you use feedback well, you'll be able to better yourself even for the next interviews during your job search process. The next step is to focus on your strength. Even though you've been rejected in one job or in more than one job, there's always a strength that you have. So you need to focus on that strength, and this will help to renew your momentum, for your next job search, step. So you need to focus on your strength, and those are the things that you need to capitalize on, so it gets you back to the momentum of the job search process. So it doesn't mean that if you receive a rejection, now it is time to halt your job search, begin to question yourself and your value. So you need to reaffirm yourself of your strength and get back to job search, being able to, with putting a close focus on the strengths that you have. The next step is to stay positive. So you need to stay positive in life. Look at the positive aspects of life. What is good about your life apart from being rejected in that job? This is the time you need to reflect back in your career and look at the times that you've been successful in your job, the achievements, the great achievements that you've been able to make in your current or even in your previous job. So it gives you a positive feeling and makes you feel that even though you did not get that opportunity, which sometimes might have not been for you, there's still something good about you by focusing on your previous achievements. So also you need to reward yourself. If there's anything you've done good for those achievements, it's the time to maybe throw a party for yourself, reward yourself, buy yourself a gift, and just remember, you are not alone. You also need to remember that, as I already said, nowadays there's a possibility that over 200 applications were received for that job. Over 200 applications were received for that job. So then only one person was selected. So then you're not alone. There's 199 who also received that same email or that same communication. The next tip is next plan of action. So you need to come up with the next plan of action, because as I already said, rejection doesn't mean that now you're halting your job search. So by coming up with the next plan of action, you've already now, if you maybe just a simple process, if you'd already gotten feedback from the employer, you knew this is where you did not do well, so the next plan of action would be to work on these areas that you didn't do well. If it's about owning your interview skills, if it's about maybe getting a career coach to walk with you through that journey. If it's about now you getting to link with recruitment firms to be able to notify you of opportunities within your space, whatever it is, come up with a clear action plan and embark on applying for jobs. If it's about job mismatch where you realize that you're applying for wrong jobs, that's where you're getting rejected, it's time now to understand really clearly what you want and now begin to apply for the right jobs. So you need to continue with your job search, come up with a clear plan, as I've already said, which will really give you value in your job search. And as I end this point, maybe also just to emphasize, sometimes you may get rejected because you're applying for the wrong jobs. I've done a video on some of the common mistakes that job seekers do, and one of them was applying for wrong jobs. You can get that video up here. So also to reevaluate yourself and see, why you applying for the right jobs where you qualify, because sometimes also when there are so many rejections, there could be something that you're doing, and you need to reevaluate yourself and get those mistakes or what is it that you're not doing right and begin to do it correctly. So thank you so much for watching this video. We've come to the end, and guys, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please ensure you click that subscribe button. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.